Hi, everybody. Well, it's another week. It's the last week of August, and while it might not seem so, there's a lot going on, or shall I say, not going on. So, this week, until about September 4th, the lunar north and south node, which are stationary, meaning they're not moving, are aspecting the planet Saturn. Now, this is something that we've put up with and we've been living with all through the month of August, so it's nothing new. So when the lunar north and south nodes are stationary, what that means is that it feels like things are on hold. We know that Saturn has gone direct and it's retracing all of the same degrees that it did from January. So we've got to go back to our New Year's resolutions. We've got to go back and start over. We always start with that joie de vivre, like something new. We plan ahead in January. So now it's time to review and see how far we've come. Remember, Saturn in Sagittarius wants new experiences. It's done with the Virgo stuff. Even though we have the personal planets in the sign of Virgo, we're kind of done with it, aren't we? Because last year we had the lunar north node in the sign of Virgo, and we got into a routine day after day doing the same things. And so now Saturn has been trying to push us out of that daily routine, waking up, like I've said before many times, waking up, going to bed at the same time, working out at the same time, the grueling routine that you have to do to make ends meet, to pay your rent, that you just can't get away from. You have to have a job, you have to do this, you have to do that. So now Saturn's gone direct and we're revisiting this whole concept of, well, what's next? What's in the future? What does the future hold for us? And can I make any changes in my life? Something new. Maybe you had a plan. I talk to lots of people and they've want a new career. They want to do something different. They want to start a new business. And so this whole thing now is under review. And so even though Mercury is retrograde in the sign of Virgo, and we're still stuck in that routine, in fact, we have to be more stuck in that routine, it seems, we can still look ahead. Maybe there's something that you want to do. Maybe there's something you started or wanted to do in the month of January, and maybe it's time to pick it back up again. Or decide maybe it wasn't such a good idea after all. So we have this lunar north and south node aspecting the planet Saturn through September 4th, which affects some sun signs more than others. And it can be a nasty, believe me, a nasty, biting aspect. It can put things on hold. It can put your finances on hold. In fact, you probably didn't even know that when somebody dies, and I know that that's not a nice thing to think about, but when somebody dies and we look at the chart, always the lunar north and south nodes are involved. It's like that's all she wrote. So we can expect even in the month of September that some kind of major changes are going to happen, and it will be like, nope, that's all they wrote. It's over, done with. But it can also lead to some great creativity if you're a creative type. Now we do have the planet Mars involved here, so we do have to be very careful. And we know that Mercury is going direct this week, so we can go over things for a third time. So there's a lot of this going over things from January, from last year, going over, rehashing, and I know you're tired of it. I'm tired of it too. So as we're rehashing, we have to make sure that we're focused on our work, because remember, somewhere out there in the universe is Neptune, who keeps everybody unfocused. And it's easy to get caught up in minor things that are distracting, but now we have to focus, because now Saturn's given us a third chance at some of those goals and things that we wanted to accomplish back in January. It's a good time. Well, we still have to be a little bit careful with Mars and the lunar north node. Not nice. Unless you like to be very active and you're very competitive. Still, it's a very accident-prone aspect. The lunar south node also is opposing the lunar node. That's the way they transit. And of course, this rules the age group of like young men who tend to get rowdy. So guys, if you're at college and you are watching this and you're in your fraternity, no, don't do it. Behave, at least in the month of September. Let September pass you by. Don't get involved in any nefarious deeds or bad deeds or fun, what you're thinking is fun. Be very careful with that. So we've got Mercury going direct, we've got Saturn who's direct, but aspecting the lunar north and south nodes, meaning something's coming up this week, and quote unquote, that's all she wrote. We have to wait and see what that means. Let me see. Let me go over my notes here. Mercury conjoins the planet Mars, and of course Mars trines the planet Uranus. And that's another thing I wanted to mention, is that all these planets, when Mercury goes direct, or when Mercury re-enters the sign of Leo before it goes direct, it's going to spend the entire week at 28 degrees, going retrograde, going direct at that 28 degree mark. Now, if you've been following me, what happened at 28 degrees? Monday. Last week's eclipse of the century happened last Monday at 28 degrees Leo. And so now Mercury is going back and forth over 28 degrees Leo. Mars will be at 28 degrees Leo. The lunar north node is at 28 degrees Leo. Uranus is at 28 degrees Aries. And of course, all of these things mean something. It can be very, very good, like winning something, or being discovered, or finding your groove and just being happy. For some, it can be love and romance. I know probably you've wondered why I haven't said, could this be a time of conceiving babies? Well, right now, Leo is considered an infertile sign, actually. I know there's plenty of Leos out there who have lots of children and they love it, but it's not necessarily a great time to conceive. So I haven't mentioned it that way. But it is a time with all this fire energy going on, with Uranus and Aries and all the planets funneling through the sign of Leo. And then we'll have Saturn in Sagittarius at the end of the year, around Thanksgiving-ish, at that 28 degrees month. So this time can be a really fortunate time. It can be really fun, as long as you're careful and you really don't take too many chances, like bungee jumping and flying out of an airplane and craziness like that, because Mars in the North Node say, hey, don't tempt fate. So I think we're going to be great if we don't tempt fate. But the fire energy ignites us. Of course, it's very spiritual energy, and it's coming up with great ideas and putting them into action, and it's really getting enthusiastic and happy once again. Thanks for watching my YouTube channel, and of course, if you get my horoscope app, you get a free monthly tarot reading. It's not just any tarot reading. Those are my meanings of the cards. So every month, when you just purchase for $1.99 my horoscope app, you'll get a free tarot reading each and every month with my meanings of the cards, because I've got a lot of years and years of experience doing that too. So of course, get the horoscope app and follow me on my Facebook fan page, follow me on Instagram, and join the astrology revolution.